Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Stannis. Welcome back to the channel. It's been a minute, but I'm back, here to give you a quick little update about how I've been doing and the new year, pretty much, how I was continuing on. So, recently I just did my taxes and found out, hey, I earned around like $236 in dividends, which is pretty crazy. The previous year, I don't have the data for that, but I'm pretty sure it's lower. It's a lower amount. It's pretty cool to see that I'm starting to earn passive income besides my stocks increasing in value, right? So it's pretty cool to see that I achieved that great amount of dividends, and I'm excited to see where it goes from here. Now, $236 in dividends might seem kind of small for the whole entire year, and for the size of my portfolio. But keep in mind, I don't really have a dividend portfolio. This is kind of just stocks I enjoy, and I don't mind having for an extended period of time, right? I don't really sell any of my stocks, but the stocks I do sell, I'll try to sell for a profit. If I can't, then I just sell out of them completely, or I'm just in them for a small amount of time. Don't invest too much into it. But for most of my stocks, I hold it for a very long time. Most of the stocks I've held ever since I bought them, and I plan to continue doing that. Hopefully next year I get around $500 in dividends. For me to do that, I would have to double my portfolio or continue putting money into stocks that yield a dividend. Most of my stocks don't yield dividend. Most of them are growth stocks, so they don't have a dividend. They just pretty much go up in price, depending on how they're doing in the market and how they're doing against their competitors. So it could change rapidly or not really. And depending on how the rest of the year goes, we might see some companies lose their dividend or just completely lower it down or get out of their dividend. For the type of stocks I'm in right now, it's unlikely, but it happens. And even if they were to get rid of their dividend, I would still own the stock. So I'm not in the stock just for the dividend necessarily, but I do want more passive income. So all this dividend income that I have achieved over this year, I've pretty much just reinvested all of it right back into the stocks. That's my preferred method of dividends, and what I do with them. I just put it right back into the company. I believe the companies that I'm invested into, so why not just keep it rolling? Allows me also to grow further in that company and own greater shares eventually over time. I just want to keep on building this. This is the whole point of my stock portfolio, is to keep on building. Every single paycheck I get, I just invest about 70% of that right back into stocks. Continue to increase every single month my stock portfolio. Just continue to increase. Trying to limit my spend on stuff that's not very useful or stuff that doesn't add to my life at all. I really focused on just trying to become financially free. That's my one main goal that I want. So pretty much I do all I can to just try to get that done. Is just, hey, how can I get free? What's the fastest path to not working anymore and just being able to survive just based off passive income? That's the main goal. For me to hit that, dividends are a big part of that. And starting off with $256 this year is pretty good. That's nothing you could survive off of, right? $256 you probably could survive off for a week, right? But for a whole entire year, it's not enough. But it's fine. It's fine for now. Don't plan on retiring for at least another 8 years. And hopefully I can retire before 30 or just have $1 million in stocks. Chances are they're not going to be in a dividend, $1 million in dividend assets. Most likely going to be just a bunch of tech stocks and growth companies. That's just what I prefer, especially since I'm younger. Don't really want to get into a lot of slower assets or assets that just kind of just hold their value. I'm really set on the future and the possible stuff that could happen, right? Over 20 years, all technology is greatly increased. Everybody has it. I would say, or like the most valuable stuff that people have in their home is the technology they have or they bought from certain companies, Apple, Samsung, regardless, right? It doesn't matter. Their computers are worth like $4,000, $3,000. Their laptops are worth around the same amount. Everybody's iPhone or phone is around $1,000, $500,000. TVs, $500,000. Nothing really compares to that in the common household. You could have like shoes and stuff, but like chances are if you're not buying designer or just really high-end stuff, you're not going to be paying $500, $1,000 for your clothes. You're probably be paying around the range of like $30 to $50 per item, per like a clothing item. So it's a huge change, and chances are everybody wants to increase their technology no matter what. Like, people will buy clothes, they'll hold it for years, but everybody who wants technology, as technology advances, everybody wants to get the new stuff, especially if the technology is really advanced and it's really simple to use. Then it's kind of like you're missing out if you don't have it, or you don't use it, or you don't know how it is, or you don't know how it feels to use that technology. You're going to want to get into that. So my insight into that is pretty much just got to go hard into technology stocks. They really have the most room to improve. So that's where I'm just putting most of my money in. Boom, technology. And I do understand that some of these technology stocks are going to be a bust, but it's just part of the process of just trying to advance stuff that already works. They're just trying to make stuff that's pretty good right now and make it even better. But that can be difficult, especially since you're making smaller steps every single time. And even though you're making smaller steps to make a greater change over time, it might not be desired to get the next product just because it's a little bit better. But as the years go on, it's a great change over your older technology. So you're going to want to improve sooner rather than later. The technology that we have is lasting longer, and it's more useful than ever. But all right, but besides technology, let's take a look into dividend stocks that I really like at the moment. And let's look right into JP Morgan Chase. So JP Morgan Chase, I just recently bought them. I've talked about this in my previous videos, but I like talking about JP Morgan Chase. I do have one of their cards. I have the Chase Reserve with them. Pretty solid card. I would want to get the Chase Preferred and their other cards, but currently right now you can't get the Chase Preferred. Yeah. So right now you can't get the Chase Preferred if you have the Chase Reserve. So obviously just moved up, got the Chase Reserve. That's fine. But some of their lower tier cards are also pretty cool. I'd like to get them later on, but currently focused on the higher tier credit cards, especially since I have the opportunity to get them for free. Yeah, so Chase's dividend yield is pretty solid. It's 2.86. It's not the highest I've seen, but it's not the lowest either. And I do think it's pretty easy to hold on to, so I don't see them lowering this dividend yield at all. And as for now, let's see. Since the start of the new year, they've been doing pretty decent as well. This is barely positive, but it's already better than the previous year for 2022. I do see a lot of... I'm going to continue adding to Chase. Currently I have around about $1,000. Yeah, $1,397 in Chase. I do plan on increasing this. I do like the banks for dividends. They generally keep their price, and they have a dividend, and they've been in the game for a long time. So, but as for Wells Fargo, don't have any cards with them, but it is a stock I like investing into. A little bit less than $1,000. Have the stock. I've had this stock since I've almost started this portfolio. Continues to pay me dividends, and their dividends are around 2.38, similar to Chase's. It's another stock I've held, and I bought in my earlier days of investing, probably about 2 to 3 years ago. when I first started investing into my accounts, investing into my Robinhood account, is Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola was one of those stocks that you just kind of buy and just hold forever. And yeah, that's just exactly what I've done. I just held the stock, no problem, just about over $1,000. Continues to pay me dividends, 2.94 dividend yield. Yeah, this one definitely not going anywhere. I'm just gonna continue just getting that dividend, reinvesting. I haven't really been able to buy more Coca-Cola. I want to buy on the downturn, and it's kind of hard for me to buy at a lower price because my average cost is $47, and I'm trying to buy below that. With every other stock being with every other stock being on sale, just Coca-Cola doesn't seem that attractive right now. But it is holding on. It's doing fairly well over this year for 2023. You probably see it going stagnant or similar to last year's. Nothing really going on with this one, but over time I do believe that's going to go up. So I will continue to hold on to my Coca-Cola. Now, ExxonMobil, I haven't really bought too much of the stock either, but I've made like double my money pretty much from the stock, so that's pretty solid. So that's pretty cool. 54 average, and in total it's about $843 with a dividend yield of 3.19. So yeah, that 3.19 is the highest so far, but I don't think it's the highest in my portfolio. Don't really know which one it is, but we're gonna find out. ExxonMobil has had a pretty good past 2 years, and Chevron, it's another gas stock or gasoline stock, similar to ExxonMobil. I've almost doubled it as well. I have doubled it, and average cost about $75. And I haven't put too much into it, but around $500 is my market value. Just like ExxonMobil and the rest of these dividend stocks, I do just continue reinvesting my dividends right back into the companies. 3.53 for the dividend yield, one of the higher ones. And yeah, it's not moving whatsoever. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. It's just nice to look at, I guess, the previous year and look at all the stats, and have had that on hand and just be able to look at it and be able to determine where you want to go from there. Go from that point. To be honest, I'm not too worried about dividends and increasing my dividend growth per month or per year, but it's just really cool to look at and see all the growth that's come from this stock portfolio. I remember back in the day when I would get like 10 or 20 cents, or just a couple change pretty much, and I'd be like, oh sweet, I got some money from doing nothing. That's pretty cool, but it didn't really sum up to anything significant. And now I can say that about when I get like three digits from doing nothing, I think it's pretty significant, especially where I'm coming from. But yeah, I'm definitely going to continue going down this road. Eventually I'll be able to hit $1,000 a year. That's pretty cool. But if I were to be able to hit like $100 a month, $1,000 a month, just continuing that snowball of increasing dividends, it's just gonna be that feeling of financial freedom, I guess. It's gonna get stronger within me, and just gonna keep on propelling me forward to just stay motivated, I guess. Yeah, that's pretty much it for it. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me, guys. Tell me how much dividends have you made this year, if you've made any dividends, or if you just don't mess with dividends at all and you're just like, oh, I hate dividends because they're trash. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, just keep me informed. Let me know. Let me know if you guys have these stocks or you're planning on getting them. And yeah, that's it. Peace, guys.